Wonder Woman. This is my review for the Wonder Woman movie, directed by Patty Jenkins. And I have to say that she did a mighty fine job directing this movie. I love this movie. I loved it a lot. I didn't just like it, I loved it. Oh man, there's gonna be some spoilers in this. I'm gonna talk some spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil everything. But it's a lot to love about this thing. I would have to say the first half of the movie, or actually the first act, when they're in Themyscira, and it's just Wonder Woman, the Amazon women, and it's little Diana, and she's growing up, and she's learning to fight, and she's learning some things about what they do there, why they're there, everything. Just it was beautiful. The island. Just all the different women. There were a lot of women. I heard that there was a lot of athletes that played the Amazon women, and there's even a female boxer that goes by the name of Ann Wolf. And you might have seen her in some videos online. It's like one of the most brutal knockouts ever. It was this really big, tall, white-skinned woman, and she was, this short black woman. Well, short compared to her, because she's not really that short. And she clocked her. Ann Wolf was in this. I was looking, I was like, is that Ann Wolf? It was her. But anyway, it was just fantastic to see. Then they had women of different color there too. I remember seeing in a comic one time, all of them were like white skinned. So seeing a lot of different color of women in this on the island, it was fantastic. But everything dealing with that was glorious. I actually wanted to see more of her there. But I understood the story had to move on and they had to leave the island and everything. I would say Gal Gadot did fantastic in this. Also, Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. I like the character. They did it well. I don't think they tried too hard with what they was going with that. He had a connection with Diana. He also was her, her key into fitting into society now, because she knew nothing about the outside world. And it worked. All the dialogue in this movie worked. It worked really good. Even if there were some things that could have come off as cheesy, Gal Gadot helped me believe it. Chris Pine helped me believe it. And Chris Pine and his friends, the actor, the liar, the sharpshooter, and the Native American guy, all of them delivered solid on their performances. This was just fantastic. It worked well. It just worked for me. The movie was good. I saw the movie Friday. This is now Sunday. And I heard that the movie's made over $100 million this weekend. And I couldn't be more happy. I was hoping it would bring in those numbers. If it was like the 80s or 90s or even high 70s, I think people would have been like, oh, it's doing good. No, it's doing great right now. $200 million worldwide. I'm glad. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen with a film. But I'm glad, not just for women. Women want some empowerment. They want characters for little girls, and also women to look up to and to relate to, but also, in a fantasy type way, enjoy seeing and everything, something different. This isn't the first female-led superhero movie. Remember, we had Supergirl back in the 80s, so, And there's also been some female-led movies, like comic book characters, Tank Girl. Or was that an anime? Tank Girl? I don't know. I can't remember right now, but it's been a long time since we had something good, and this got kicked off fantastic, I think. Now, of course, Wonder Woman made her appearance in Batman vs Superman, and she was one of the best, the standout moments of the whole movie. She was one of the best characters and performances and action scenes, really, in that whole movie. But I felt like I left the theater feeling like, and while I was sitting in the theater watching this movie, that I wish I saw this movie 4 years earlier. Or even, like, if this movie came out right after Man of Steel, that would have been fantastic. If it came out before Man of Steel and it jumped off this DC Cinematic Universe thing, that would have been great. But from what I understand, I've seen reviews after Man of Steel and Henry Cavill they were asking him, do you think you guys should set up like a Justice League movie where you could do something like that? And he was like, yeah, I think the best way to do that was to introduce Batman first. I don't know what Snyder's plans was when he first got the Man of Steel picture and he was, coming up with everything, writing, directing, whatever. But I'm glad they're going ahead with this Justice League thing. You don't have to be a hardcore DC fan to enjoy these movies. You can enjoy them. They might not be better than some other movies, because I think I still like Man of Steel better than Batman vs Superman. But I love Wonder Woman also. And I just wish we saw this movie a long time ago. Now it's a period piece. It takes place back in World War I. And there was some similarities being drawn by people. This looks just like Captain America. I think I said that when I saw the first trailer for Wonder Woman. And it does. I mean, you can't ignore the similarities. A character who you know is going to be in the present day, but also existed in another time period, especially in a war, and gets involved in a war. You know, Captain America, World War II, Wonder Woman, World War One. There was going to be a lot of similarities. But other than that, it doesn't matter. I just wish that this movie happened a long time ago, because I'm ready to see Wonder Woman in the present in a new solo movie. I'm ready to see her in Justice League. It just feels so good. Now the whole picture thing, the picture she was after in Batman vs Superman, didn't really know why she was after that picture. But now in this movie, you find out it's sentimental value. She wanted the original copy, and that's all it was. It seemed like Batman vs Superman, she didn't want people to know she existed back then or something like that. Like she was trying to hide. I need all evidence. It didn't really go into it. I don't know if they came up with that. Like Patty Jenkins made that in his story. That's the reason she wanted the picture or whatever. But I do get it. Like Steve Trevor was somebody she was involved with, her first love, probably, and the first man she's ever met. So he meant a lot to her. And then, you know, everybody else in the photo was a part of a squad she, you know, got used to. So it makes sense, and I see why that went that way. But I loved it. Gal Gadot's performance was fantastic. Like I said, everybody's performance was fantastic. Now let's talk about the villains in this. The main villain was Ares, and I liked how they were leading up to it, how she thought Ares had been corrupting men for years and starting a world war and just have them battling each other, willing to take each other out, and just putting chaos into the world. So she was like, this is what I gotta do. She finds out who she is and why she was the only child in Themyscira for so long. And it worked. Everything worked, man. In this film, everything worked except for the last fight. Not saying it didn't work or it sucked. It was just very superhero cliche. You know, a big battle, lots of fire all around, special effects, and it happened at night. You know, and I'm kind of tired of seeing all these fights happen at night, especially the big finale battle. Seems like they used the dark setting to hide a lot of the flaws you might see in special effects. I mean, we've seen a lot of superhero fights during the daytime. Like Man of Steel, the whole Smallville fight was in the daytime. No one really complained about the special effects in that. Especially somebody like Wonder Woman and Superman, they can move at super, you know, speeds, and they move fast, and they can do things we can't do. So if it looks a little awkward, hey, what would it look like in real life if somebody could really do that? But no, I'm just tired of seeing a bunch of fire being everywhere during the last battle and just destruction, and it has to happen at night in a big field. But Ares was cool, I guess. You know, I really didn't care too much. I wouldn't have minded just seeing her take on some more soldiers like she did in that No Man's Land scene, where she comes up the ladder, she has her shield, she's on the battlefield, and she starts taking people out, drawing all the fire, and then all the other soldiers rush, and they can actually cross the line that they've been at for like a year. That was fantastic. And then when she got to that town, she's fighting, she's flipping trucks, she's jumping, busting through buildings, knocking people down, lasso of truth, bam, wham, wham. Man, that movie was fantastic. It got me pumped. I can't wait. I actually do want to see it again. I really do. It was a really good movie, and it felt like it was long overdue. I wish this movie came out a lot earlier, because I'm ready to see more Wonder Woman now. Outside of the Justice League, in the Justice League, I don't care. But I'm ready to see what she's going to do in the present day now. And I have to speak about this, because Zack Snyder I think he's a fantastic director. It's just some things I wish he didn't have. I wish he wasn't a director of. Or at least the color scheme. Like, he puts a tint over all of his movies, or he dulls the colors down. And like, for me, like Superman's suit, I wish it was a little brighter, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, comic book bright, you know, bright yellow, but it's just, it changes the color, and you can see the color in this, especially at the beginning of the movie. It was fantastic, and everything's bright and vibrant, and that's good. Now, people think when you say a movie has a lighter tone, it means the color schemes. Sometimes, but just because a movie has a lighter tone don't mean it's Toy Story. There was a lot of humor in this, but it wasn't forced. It didn't feel forced, and it just worked well. The script writers did a fantastic job on this, man. All the dialogue in this and the interactions between Steve Trevor and Diana was just fantastic, man. I enjoyed this film so much. There's so much I could talk about, but I just wanted to give a just quick review and talk about how I love this film so much. And I know women loved it, and they had an all-women screening, and people were flipping out about this. Man, give them women that, man. This is a woman character. Like, are you gonna be mad when Black Panther comes out and then people do something like this all African American screening, or just African screening for this movie? why would you be upset? You're still going to see the movie. It's not like, oh, only they can see it and you got to wait till it come out on Blu-ray. No, man, what the hell? People are ridiculous. But anyway, that's my review for Wonder Woman. I would say I would give it an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. That's because I think some things could have been improved. But overall, the movie was great. It's fun and it's nice to watch. It's one of the better superhero films, and it's an origin story too, and it works fantastic because the origin is so different from everything else we saw. Except for probably Thor. You know, they're from somewhere different. They are different than humans and stuff like that. Superman, he's from a different planet, but she's on Earth. So you know what I'm saying. And Thor, he's from a different realm, which is kind of like a different planet. It's a different dimension almost. But this was fantastic, man. I enjoyed it. I'm glad we got this movie. I'm buying it on Blu-ray when it come out on DVD. I just liked it a lot. It actually made me happy when I saw this film, and I knew it was gonna make a lot of women happy too. So this was fantastic. But yeah, that's my review. So if you like my review for Wonder Woman, like the video, share and subscribe, and come back, and I'll see you next time.